So basically, I think as most of you know, well, I was going to say yes. Um, I used to have a bit of an issue with Dota 2. We haven't played it for a very long time. So today's video is why you should quit playing Dota. Why you should be quitting playing Dota 2. I feel like this one hits quite close to fucking home, seeing as it's something that we kind of did. But yeah,
Why did you quit Dota?
we need to pick that volume up a little bit.
Why did you quit Dota? I was playing probably like, I don't know, 2+ hours a night of Dota, which is like 4 games, maybe.
4 games, I think. Just saying, you could get in like that's like turbo length games almost. You get a proper good fucking actual game going. That's a lot longer than fucking 4 games.
Maybe 3
Or way too short for 4 games.
games. And
Accurate.
then one day I was like, how much of that time is actually fun?
I feel like that is probably one of the most accurate things I've ever wanted to ask myself. And fun fact, so this morning, playing games with friends, as you do, because, you know, that's how you communicate with friends and have friends. That's what you do is you play games together. So, playing Marvel Rivals, been enjoying that actually. And anyway, playing with a friend who still massive into Dota 2. And we were sort of picking heroes, whatever. So it's like, oh, you're picking boring heroes. He's like, he doesn't care. It's like Dota. You just pick a hero so you can win. It's not about having fun, it's about winning. And I was like, it's very close to home. And although I know it was kind of a joke, not quite a joke, if you know what I mean. So I kind of get exactly where he's going with this, where it's about winning, not about having fun anymore.
And it was like maybe like 35% of it at a maximum. There's like a lot of days where it was like basically 0.
That I can relate to. You said you grind out 5-6 games and you just half of it's like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? And the worst part is, haven't played Dota. Relatively long game, not quick matches at all. But you stuck in the match for really long. There's no surrender feature or fucking FF feature. You abandon, you get that's just cuck for everyone. So you locked in for what could be, if you're playing Turbo, which is like the accelerated game mode, maybe 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes for a really long Turbo game, into classic traditional like pace Dota where you're grinding out for like 30 to 50 minutes if it's not a complete stomp sometimes. And a lot of that you just spend losing and spend trying to feel less worse about losing, if that makes sense. Like, the duration of the game and the fact that one person can mean you just lose the game. You can win at 5 almost. Yes, you can come back. It's not that common though. And because you're so reliant on every member of the team participating, it's not like you can just carry like in an FPS. Or even most like team-based shooters as well. Like you can kind of carry, put the team on your back and do a lot if, you know, one person's absolutely useless, you can get your ass carried. Fucking we've all been there. But in Dota, it's just so hard when one person doesn't want to play. Or not necessarily play, but doesn't want to really contribute.
Dota's not really fun if you're losing, is my experience. Because
that's also very true. If the game, so it can be fun if you're losing, but that's only if the game is close and really competitive. If you're just getting, if you like, even 60-40% in terms of loss, so like you're on the 40% side that like 40% chance you're going to lose, it's probably not that fun. Especially depending on the role you're playing. If you're playing like fucking supports and you're just getting stomped, it's just annoying.
You see the loss coming a long time in advance of when the loss actually hits. So you spend about a third of every lost game just knowing you're going to lose and waiting for it to actually happen.
Yeah, that's a perfect summation.
Not fun. I basically just quit that night and said, that's it.
Halfway through, we decided to play Dota because some of my friends play Dota. Made me want to blow out that game.
I was so confused. I was like, is this fucking Blitzbank? So I got so confused for a second. I'm not being racist, both skinny white men with black hair. That doesn't mean I'm racist.
It actually just pisses me off. I don't know, dude. Dota's fucked up. It's a fucked up game. The heroes are cool in Dota because I used to play it growing up, so like I remember a lot of them. But the games are 50 minutes long. The games are insanely.
Yeah, like the time sink. And even though, yes, I know turbo exists, and based on the comeback mechanic in turbo, it makes it a lot more competitive. You can come back a lot easier. In a traditional Dota game, if you're as far behind as you were in a turbo game, you can still kind of swing with the comeback and rubber banding, but still you're committing a fucking long time to a game.
Long. Like they're so long. So whether you're in a win or a loss, you're just there for an hour. Like you can do 2 Dota games and it's been 2 hours. Legitimately 2 games is 2 hours.
That's completely accurate.
And I actually, dude, when you're losing in that game, it's fucking atrociously painful. It's crazy. It's so bad.
Let's face it, guys, Dota is absolutely miserable.
That Blitzbanks. Okay, didn't mix up my white people, or did, but then I didn't.
There's just something
That's not Blitzbanks in the bottom left.
about this game that brings out the absolute worst version of ourselves.
That's true, but I feel like it's any MOBA.
Causing us to endlessly
Do you think he went Super Saiyan though? How close was he?
chain Q
Scale of 1 to 10.
over and over again, even when we know it's not a good idea. Which is exactly why I think you should be quitting Dota 2. But why exactly am I saying
Let's also. First of all, this is a long ongoing meme. Can we please discuss how survival horror and single player are the 2 biggest tags in a MOBA game?
this? Am I saying this because I think Dota is a terrible game? No, of course not. I think it has the potential of being a great time for both competitive players as well as casual players who enjoy playing with their friends. But as much as I do enjoy playing and creating content for the game that I love, I strongly believe that you should be quitting it. But wait. Okay, please allow me to explain why before you thumbs down the video and post that very mean comment about me.
You watched the video, I was going to say this is so ass, bro. Massive L plus ratio. Plus you. I mean, this is a guy who's literally a Dota 2 content creator.
All right, thanks. So, we've all been there, right? Excited to finally hop on and play some Dota, finding match after match,
Yes, we have all been there. Fortunately, many times.
only to find yourself hating humanity even more and with less MMR than what you've started with. Eventually filling up your entire match history with the endless red plague that we all fear. But what if I told
That is pretty much the worst plague that can affect people. I mean, I don't know if a Dota 2 loss streak of a full page of losses or famine is worse, but I'm let's just saying, like, I could lose a few Ks.
you that the majority of those lost games in your match history wasn't actually because of your lack of skills or knowledge of the game, but in fact, it's just your emotions getting in the way. Now, at first, you may think I'm just trying to glaze you up and give you an excuse of being hard-stuck Archon, but believe it or not, emotions
At least they went Archon and not like fucking hard stuck Herald.
do play a very huge part of Dota, and this goes for all levels of the game. From your
Okay, this zoomed out vibe is really starting to annoy my eyes now.
Herald rank games all the way up to professional play at the international. Because at the end of the day, Dota 2 is ultimately a mental game, and this has been proven many times throughout Dota's history. OG, during their peak, dominating everyone at TI9, showcased this to over 1 million players watching from all around the globe, displaying how they've truly mastered this exact strategy. Try to get into your opponent's head, make them crumble under pressure, and cause them to make bad decisions.
And he sprays loser. The disrespect.
Voice
Well, someone's a bit of a very arrogant prick, but in fairness, probably did outplay him.
lines, tipping, alt chatting, pausing the game, all of these things can affect the way one
We've all been there. We've all been there.
person plays, depending on how fragile their state of mind truly is. And let me tell you something, an average Dota player's mind is not very strong at all.
I thought it was going to go very sharp at all, but not strong at all as well.
Months of unconditional love.
Can this? Guys, go away! Why are they doing on my screen?
That, paired with the fact that Dota is one of the most mentally draining and emotionally tiring games ever, and you've got a recipe for creating some of the most radioactive and explosive gamers in the world. And yes, this even applies to your very own teammates as well, if anything, more so. Having a toxic team not only puts you in a bad mood, but it also
That is one thing. Pretty much, okay, look, I haven't played League, but I have played fucking a lot of competitive games, a lot of online games. Pretty much hands down worst toxic, worst fucking community.
heavily affects your overall ability to impact the game. Studies show that psychologically, humans tend to perform better around positivity, a theory known as the power of positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that sounds a bit shit. I mean, they tell you to train a dog with a fucking water spray bottle, so negative reinforcement does something.
Experiments prove that on a basketball court that an average person surrounded by a positive cheering crowd would land more successful shots than an actual basketball player would if they were surrounded by a negative booing crowd. Putting this in
I feel like that's a bit fucking skewed.
Dota terms, just imagine being in a team where everyone is arguing with each other and nobody is even trying to win anymore. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me,
That sounds like 75% of games.
just sounds like an average Dota game. This exact same string of repetitive bad events can be mentally draining and in the long term can result in stress, anxiety, and eventually being burnt out. And
I was thinking that was going to go somewhere completely different, and I'm very happy it didn't go where I'm sure everyone thought that was going to go. Or I'm the only one that's fucked up that thought that was going somewhere completely different.
killing all of your passion of the game.
Very apt time to restart play because I feel like we all knew where I was going with it and might have said the word in a different sentence.
Pro players aren't immune to this effect either, which is why therapy is very commonly used around esports and is actually compulsory among a lot of the top organizations. So what exactly does this mean, and what am I trying to
Therapy's pussies.
say? Well, to put it bluntly, if you
Yeah, never mind. That's not where he was going with that. Would have been a funny meme. Just saying. Therapy's good. Go to therapy.
want to actually improve at Dota and get higher MMR, simply play less. This may not really make sense to you at first, but with how much Dota 2 does require a good mental state as well as how much it affects it, this actually does kind of make sense. Ana, who by many people regard as one of the best Dota 2
I guess that could be a fair way to look at it. Because the more you play continuously, the more annoyed you get with people. You also feel like you have more of a right to win or to play with better people. And let's be real here. No one ever fucking blames their self. No one ever thinks they're the problem and they're the reason you're losing the game. Everyone likes to think I'm the best player here. So playing more often creates that entitlement, creates that idea of you should be winning, you should be doing better, your people are worse around you. So I kind of get that point as well. So you play less, you're less on edge, you take it with a bit more heart, you take it a bit less to heart, kind of thing. But at the same time, you also feel like you play less, especially something like Dota that's so competitive. You have to be on the cutting edge of so much game knowledge towards higher elo, or even, I'm sure, mid-tier to high elo. You actually have to know what you're doing. Like in terms of what's good, what's not good, what balls are priority, what heroes are priority, how to play against certain things, because you're out of touch, you just get stomped by the latest meta fucking breaking thing.
players
I'm clearly the problem.
of all time is furthermore proof of this exact point. The guy was literally known for playing the bare minimum amount of Dota required and still managed to outplay everybody. And by the time of his second consecutive TI victory was actually unranked.
Still think it's so unfair that an unranked carry player wins TI.
Sorry, wasn't intentional.
Ana showcased to the world that you don't have to be constantly grinding the game to be good at it.
In fairness, you probably don't, but for the vast fucking majority of people, aren't going to be as good as him.
All you needed was planning, a good strategy, and most importantly, a good mindset, remembering to have fun. He solidified himself as the undisputed GOAT, the best ever part-time professional Dota 2 player.
The fucking joke. Part-time professional Dota player. The man is regarded as probably one of the best players ever. Has won 2 TRs. Played carry at those 2 TRs. So he also played mid at a stage, which, fair enough. Those are the people you're kind of banking on. To, yes, the supports make space, give them options, blah, 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 blah. But you're putting everything on those players to win you the late game. After certain points, it's kind of on the carries to perform, and that is the role you're giving this guy that is considered part-time professional player who apparently watches Gordon Ramsay videos instead of practicing.
And was, quote, the two-time champion who watched Gordon Ramsay videos instead of practicing. So the next time you find
I think what we really don't understand is what Gordon Ramsay videos was he watching. At least you know how he learns how to deal with people fucking screaming at you because he watched a lot of that.
yourself in a painful loss streak, just do yourself a favor and take a break. Whether it's for a day or a week or even months, just remember that your best Dota performance is only achievable with a healthy mind. And also with hours of binge watching Gordon Ramsay videos, I guess.
Gordon Ramsay videos we've got. I don't think there's anything left of this video, but its outro is fucking long. Oh, that's interesting.
Growing up playing video games.
I guess it's my Blitzbanks. We're gonna put that at the watch later category. Okay, so we'll just quickly go back.
Why did you quit Dota?
So obviously, I think that's a. Okay, first of all, the video was massive fucking clickbait. Let's get that out the way. But I do think that was very apt. That at some points as well, your most beloved games you need to take a break from to sometimes reappreciate them or sometimes start appreciating them again. 'Cause you can get burnt out. You can get annoyed. You can become way too on edge with them because no game is only fucking positive. So don't go anyone says, even if it's fucking, I don't know, Astrobot fucking game of the year, family title for kids. At some point you can get too annoyed, get too burnt out, get too upset with a game where you do need to mentally reset. That I actually get was a very weird way to put that. But I do still think it's quite a cool message. It's not the first Blitzbanks videos we reacted to, so give Blitzbanks some love. I'll link the video in chat and in the description below so you can check it out yourself. Give him a like, give him some love. But yeah, that was a pretty cool video. Now we're going to jump into some gamey games. So